Welcome to Nonstop. It's the official and season show of Kirk, Herbstreit, and Joey Galloway. Your first stop for all things football, college and pro, every Monday.
All right, we're ready to roll here. First Monday in November, November 3rd. Great weekend of football, college and pro. What do you got? What are you already up to? I can see you got something.
But I'm ready. I hope you got your game face on. I want a piece of you.
Boy.
I would like a piece of you.
How was Halloween?
Halloween was great. I had to work. I was in Bristol, Connecticut.
Saw that. I saw you. I mean, you went all in on Halloween.
Hey, listen, I've worn in the last probably since I was a little kid, I've worn a costume 2 times, and both times have been working.
I didn't know you to be a Halloween costume guy.
Yeah, that was when you like to be festive. You got to work. Yeah. Let's have some fun.
Yeah. What made you go Batman?
So there wasn't a plan. It was not the plan. I was going Green Lantern.
Yeah.
I don't know if you and which one we got. Who?
This is Peter.
Peter. I don't know if you and Peter know this, but the Green Lantern was originally black.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I was going Green Lantern, and I ordered a costume, and it didn't get here.
Oh no.
So then, as a fallback, I ran down to the costume store, which I'd never been to, and I went Green Lantern. I mean, I went Batman.
Did they make you dress up, or was that your own?
No, that was our own. That was me, EJ, and Zubin decided, hey, we're here. It's Halloween. Let's have some fun. Are we gonna do this the entire show?
You're not one to have fun.
I am one to have some fun now.
No, you're not.
No, I'm a fun guy.
I didn't know you had that in you.
Yeah, it was fun.
Did your boys approve of the uni?
Yeah, the funny part is Zubin. So I trusted EJ. I knew EJ would be in, and Zubin sneaks in. I mean, Zubin comes in professionally, suit, tie, peeking in the door first, just to make sure we weren't setting him up for a joke. So he didn't have his Run ZUB outfit on before he got there. He showed up to make sure me and EJ were actually, he thought we were setting him up. Yeah,
I got you.
And then he jumped in and we had some fun.
No, it looked like you guys had a good time. Another college football weekend. There were some upsets. The ACC, Miami had a challenge. We kind of knew that one going in against SMU. Rhett Lashley, who had just signed that new deal, had a team that was revved up and prepared and fired up. Miami goes down. Some decisions there late by Carson Beck ended up costing the Canes. Yeah. And we'll hit that. Georgia Tech, again, another game you knew that was going to be a hostile environment in Raleigh. Maybe some people that don't live in that region maybe don't appreciate or understand what that can be like going in at night, especially when you're highly ranked. And NC State's perceived to be having a down year. But again, that one, it was, I think, a reminder for all of us who follow college football. When you look at things on paper and you just assume, okay, they're going to win, they're going to win, they're going to win. You're taking out the emotion of the game, and you're taking out the one team have everything to lose, the other team has nothing to lose aspect. Hold on real quick.
Dear, while I have a couple minutes to myself,
go ahead.
For all you dog people out there, is this what you want? Is this what you want? The little squeaky toy in the background. I know you heard it because I could hear it, and I was going to ignore it. Is that what you want?
I heard it. Not right now.
It's just not what you.
Not right now.
Not right now.
We got it. You got an 8-month-old that's just he's excited, so we got to chill him out. But my point was, great reminder. Moving forward to this weekend, the remaining 4 weeks, that when you go on the road, man, and you think you're playing an inferior team, be careful, because there's always that chance if you show up and you kind of going through the motions, you're gonna struggle. And so we saw a couple examples of that. And then on the other hand, we saw teams.
But you can't. But to that point, though, that's the one thing you can't measure.
Yeah,
you cannot measure an Alabama going through that 4 games and then going on the road to South Carolina. you can't measure the ability for your team
Well, you
to
can't
get up.
predict it, the
It's
emotion part of it.
yeah. So when we're looking at these teams and seeing what they've done, man, these coaches, we say that's what you're paid to do, is to try to rev up these kids every single week, regardless of your opponent, to get ready to play, and it's tough to do.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think even more now, so, with the outside noise, the social media
Mhm.
shows like you and I are doing right now, sometimes we're guilty of just kind of foregone conclusion. They're going to win that game. They're going to win that game. And as Coach Saban has always called that rat poison, because it's amazing how, if a group of players start to believe in, yeah, we're going to win that game, and they just show up, obviously you're going to lose. And it's going to happen Saturday, and it's going to happen the following Saturday. We've
Yes.
got 4 more Saturdays in November. And that's what makes this sport so great, is how
Absolutely.
unpredictable it can be. And then you got teams like, the threat of, hey, maybe Penn State with Terry Smith coming off a bye week. What better way to kind of shake up the apple cart than pull off an upset? Competitive early. I mean, they were, it was 17-14 at half. They
Yeah.
were in it. And Ohio State obviously pulled away, just too much talent. I think a lot of people kind of assumed that Ohio State would be too much, but until you see it, you got to see it. Indiana, another example of that in the Big Ten. I mean, hey, you never know. They're on the road at Maryland, and Indiana just.
The thing about Indiana
annihilating people.
The thing that's getting a little scary about Indiana is we keep talking about Kirk Cignetti and Mendoza, and we look at them as an offensive football team. Their defense is really good. I think they created 5 turnovers in the game against Maryland. And their defense has played really well. And I think that's why they're getting so much more respect this year, because they're not just winning games by outscoring their opponent. They're a really good defensive football team also. And let me ask you a question here, because and we don't have to get into this right, but I do want to get into this coaching thing that we're doing now. And when I said I want a piece of you, I need you to explain this coaching thing. It's one thing when you talk, okay, so take Jim Knowles, right, who's at Ohio State last year. They go into the playoffs. The defense is the best defense ever. He's a genius. He's playing chess, whether playing checkers, that whole thing. Then he goes to Penn State, and now all of a sudden he's not a genius. Now he's not playing chess. And it has a lot to do with the players that you have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like Jim Knowles became stupid and forgot all the great defenses he called while he was at Ohio State. There's a difference when you have Caleb Downs, Arvell Reese, these guys that are just flat out dogs that can go play football. They make coaches look good. When you coach Tom Brady, you're an offensive genius. When you're you're not that smart. So my question is, with all these jobs continuing to open up, who are you going to get? At first, when names started to come up, it's like, there's no way he's not getting that job. But now there's so many open. Who are you going to get to fill all these jobs? Like, what's the game plan? Where do you find these coaches at? These accomplished coaches that you want to lead your program to?
Me, I mean, you're gonna look at existing head coaches. That's why Lane Kiffin is, a hot name. You're gonna look every level down, whether it's at the FCS, FBS, the SEC, the Big Ten, 1AA, Division II. I don't know. They're gonna NFL coordinators, guy like Joe Brady with the Bills. I mean, I think they're gonna look everywhere.
Here's my question to you, though. So, if you take a James Franklin at Penn State, right? He gets fired. I think James Franklin is a terrific coach. I think he's amazing.
Yeah.
So he couldn't get Penn State to the next level, I guess is the point. You know what I mean? That's why he gets fired. He can't take them over the hump. So you got to pay him, say, $50 million.
I think that's what. I think so.
What if you would have taken the $50 million, say you'd have taken the $25 million, and went and got you a Caleb Downs, and went and got no, seriously, went and got you a Jeremiah Smith, went and got you the best tackles, the best, and you put that money in the program. Do you think that James Franklin and Jim Knowles, who was a genius just a year before, do you think they could have taken that group and gotten you over the hump? Like, it's like the money spent to get rid of these coaches, and then James Franklin's name is still out there as in.
Oh, he's going to be a head coach in a few weeks.
So let's say he goes, I've heard Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
So as we keep recycling coaches, you say you weren't good enough to get Penn State over the hump, right? You had some pretty good players.
Yep.
Virginia Tech would have to be saying to themselves, we would love if you took us to the
promised
place,
land. Yeah.
But not over the hump. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
when we keep just rotating these coaches that get fired in a place because they couldn't get it done, so to speak, and say, we want you to come take us to not getting it done. Is that you understand what I'm saying here? Like, I don't understand. Lane Kiffin. I love Lane Kiffin. I think he's a really good coach. So if you take Lane Kiffin from Ole Miss and say you're Florida, say you're LSU, are you saying we want what Lane Kiffin has accomplished at Ole Miss?
Mm-mm.
So why is he the name to take the Florida or LSU job?
Because they're thinking with their resources and their history and their budget and their recruiting base that what Lane Kiffin accomplished at FAU and Ole Miss, can you only imagine if he had what you're alluding to, which is the Jimmy and Joe's at LSU or at Florida? I think
so. You're saying they have better resources at those places than an Ole Miss has, and because of our resources, we're going to elevate what we've seen you do so far, and that's going to be the difference that gets us over the hump.
Well, look at Kurt Signetti.
Yes.
Were you going to hire Kurt Signetti from JMU and just say, okay, he's a championship coach at the JMU level? What makes you assume he can go to Indiana, who's been a third-tier Big Ten school, and become what he's created? I mean, maybe they looked at that and thought, with our resources, with our recruiting base, I don't know, but
that's a great point.
I mean, because think of all the guys that are winning.
JMU to Indiana is different. It's different resources, different league, completely different situation. We're talking LSU, Florida, Ole Miss.
Well, how about Mike Elko at A&M? He was at Duke.
Duke, A&M. There's a gap. Is there a gap between Penn State and Virginia Tech?
You're talking to a guy that used to do Virginia Tech games when they were top 5 in the country.
Resources.
I keep waiting for them to get back to that level.
That's my point. We're talking level playing field in resources, I would think, between SEC schools, Florida, Ole Miss, LSU. Relatively the same.
I know, but every hire that these guys make, there's a risk. I mean, when Bob Stoops left Florida as a defensive coordinator with Steve Spurrier, and they brought him to bring Oklahoma back, second year, he won a national championship. Had 0 head coaching experience.
Right.
Jim Tressel years ago was hired from Youngstown State to come to Ohio State. Second year, he won a national championship. And I get the jump.
That's my point.
Yeah, I get the jump, but I'm just saying, like, I think there's different ways to do it. Like, usually you would think you need head coaching experience for you to be able to come here and be a coach. Kirby Smart had 0 head coaching experience.
See, I don't necessarily think that you need coaching experience. I don't think you need head coaching experience.
Marcus Freeman, 0 head coaching experience.
Because now we're talking about guys that have coaching experience. We're talking about James Franklin, Lane Kiffin guys that have head coaching experience. If you take one of these coordinators, take a Brian Hartline, give him a job. Now we get to find out, can he be a Kirby Smart? Can he be a Dabo Sweeney? I get it. I'm talking about when we are taking a head coach who got fired in one place and say, come run our program. We've seen this guy be a head coach. We know that James Franklin is a terrific coach, but he got fired for not being able to get over the hump. So come be our head coach.
I know my answer to that.
I need clarity, sir.
So if I'm Virginia Tech, it's just, if I'm Virginia Tech and I look at the James Franklin situation, what's to make me think that whatever set of circumstances he had at Penn State, he's going to duplicate that exact same model and come to Virginia Tech? And that's what we want. Never beat a top 10 opponent. That's exactly what we're looking. I wouldn't think that. I would think
that's my point.
I would think this guy can coach. This guy can recruit. This guy can develop. He's in the ACC. Yes. If he builds a program anywhere close to what he had at Penn State, we're winning 11 or 12 every year. We're competing for an ACC championship every year. If he does what he did at Penn State and he brings it to Blacksburg, we're right in the mix every year.
That wasn't good enough for Penn State.
It was good enough for me at Virginia Tech.
That's my original point. Virginia Tech has to be saying what you accomplished at Penn State, all the things you just listed.
Great accomplishments, by the way.
Great accomplishments.
I mean, it was in a semifinal.
That's good enough for us. We'll take exactly that. If LSU, if Florida take Lane Kiffin, he's been amazing at Ole Miss, but they haven't won anything. So then are you telling me that LSU and Florida are saying the same thing that you just said about Virginia Tech and James Franklin? We'll take exactly what you just accomplished at Ole Miss, and that's good enough for us at these places. That's what they have to be saying, correct? Am I?
I think they're not looking at what Lane Kiffin. They're looking in a very positive way what Lane Kiffin has accomplished.
So do I.
Just like you are, but I don't think they're looking at it like, hey, maybe if we get him, he can't win anything here either. We'll just get a coach that's, got a great personality, have some fun on Twitter and win a bunch of games, but we're not going to win. We're not going to get to Atlanta. We're not going to go to the playoff. They're not thinking that. They're thinking,
why are they not thinking
we're LSU? We're Florida. That's what they're thinking.
Yes. But why? We've seen that part. But that's my point. Like when we keep rotating these head coaches from one place to another, we've seen what they do. You have to be saying, and the last thing I'm going to say about LSU, as the governor gets involved, as everyone gets now,
that's crazy.
Here's all I'm saying is, if the next guy doesn't work out, are you on a chopping block also? Because now you're in. You know what I mean? Like it's different when you're not in. But if you're going to be in the forefront of things, we're going to go get a good coach. So if the next coach doesn't work out, is your head on the chopping block also, just like the AD? You know what I mean? Like
in the new world we live in,
if you're in, like if you're going to put your feet in the athletic world and start picking coaches, then if it doesn't work out, you should also be
right. You should be on the cutting block.
You should be on the cutting block also. That's all I'm saying. If you're in, you're in. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, we for those of you just tuning in, and our audience grows every single week. Joey and I do this every Monday, 11 a.m. Eastern. We've just started Joey and I have known each other for a long time. It's a chance for us we work a lot. Joey does a lot of in-studio stuff with his crew every week on ESPN. We get together sometimes in person end of the year at the national championship or the playoffs. So we decided we wanted to talk with each other about college football. And so people who've been tuning in every Monday, we appreciate it. We'll do it all the way till we get to the end of the season. And just want to kind of give a shout out to everyone who's already subscribed over on YouTube. And to all of our members. If you become a member, it'll give you access to some custom emojis, including a couple of Peter emojis that you can use in the chat. Also helps you stand out during a chat in our Q&A section, which is a great way to get your questions answered. And that's only over here at the YouTube chat room. So if you go over to that area, join the chat. We're going to answer questions. Usually we kind of BS like this for the first I don't know, 20 minutes. A lot of times we'll have a guest. We've had some great guests on. Today, there's just so much to talk about. We're going to just kind of hang out, and then we're going to include your questions probably in the last 15 or 20 minutes. We only go an hour, so it's 11 to 12 every single Monday, 11 to 12 Eastern. And we promise you we'll do a better job this week of getting to your questions and getting you guys involved. Joey and I used to do a radio show together in his off season when he was playing at Seattle or Dallas or Tampa, wherever he might be. And I was doing a radio talk show in Columbus, and Joey would come on in the off season, and we would take calls, and we had a lot of fun with Buckeye Bill and whoever else would call in talking about the Buckeyes. And now we do it through the modern era of just including you in this chat, and we'll hit your questions shortly. But really appreciate you guys kind of growing with us. And we have no idea where this will go. We're just having fun talking football. With that being said, you bring up a lot of great points about coaches and the carousel and why is it going to be different here or there. That's what Jimmy Sexton, who's an agent for a lot of these guys and these ADs, I feel like the dominoes are going to start falling in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Yes.
Happens every single year. You get to, November, early December, a couple of those dominoes start to fall. And the next, a lot of things start transpiring. Right now, I think there's 10 or 11 big time jobs that are open. By the time it's all said and done, could be over 15, maybe over 20.
We should have got Jimmy Sexton on the show.
Yeah, we could.
I need to ask him a couple questions here, leading with why the heck didn't we become agents? Because my gosh, I mean, the way they're and I'm sure Jimmy didn't see this coming, but the way they're rotating them through now, man. I mean, you got 2 years.
Auburn opened up again. Auburn opened yesterday.
Yes, every week, and we're not talking about small jobs. We're talking SEC. We're talking real life.
I don't want to be quoted on this. I'm just saying this to you. I watch Clemson, and I don't want Jake and Ty to clip this. I'm just saying this to you. I watch Clemson, and I'm to a point where I'm wondering. Here's an example. Dabo Swinney knows how to coach. You can talk all you want about, the portal, and he doesn't know how to.
Yes.
He knows what he's doing.
Dude.
I'm just wondering.
Go ahead.
Has it run its course? Like when you stay somewhere for an extended period, a lot of times I've heard coaches talk about 10 years, maybe 12 max.
Yes.
It's hard to kind of maintain same messaging, same jokes, same whatever, and it still feeling fresh. I'm just wondering, is it time for Dabo to on his own say, I loved it here, it's been great, just to kind of get a start, just to start over and get kind of that, I don't know, kind of be reinvigorated and be excited about if he went to Auburn or if he went to wherever. Like, is it time for him to just be like, thank you, hey, this has been unprecedented, I love it, I love you guys, always will, for your sake and for my sake, I want to go somewhere else. You guys need a new coach, and you guys go do your thing. I'm going to go coach over here. Love you guys. You don't think it's time?
Well,
what about Dabo Swinney at LSU? What about Dabo Swinney at Florida? What about Dabo Swinney at Auburn?
Here's the thing. See, now we're talking. If Dabo Swinney jumps out on the market, now we're talking back up the truck. Let's go get him. We've seen where he can go. There's only a couple guys out there that have won national championships.
But what about, like, I see somebody saying nobody wants Dabo. What if people, the perception of Dabo doesn't know how to do it in 2025. He's doing it the old school way. I don't think that. But
I've said this about Dabo 1,000 times. When people start talking about Dabo and act like, oh man, Dabo stink. There are 130 schools that would take Dabo's resume
of course
from the last 10 years, at least. Now, he was just in the playoff. It ain't like Clemson is awful and been.
And
awful
I'm not
for
suggesting.
years.
I'm just saying, would
Nobody
it be
does that.
Would it be a good time for him? Not.
Hey,
would it be a good time for him to just like get a restart, get a new place?
I think there's a level of saying I can't do it. You know what I mean? Like nobody leaves
when it's going like this.
Yes, we all ride it out. Us athletes. I stayed too long because there was still that glimmer of, oh, I can still go, even though my body was saying, hey, fella, we can't really still go at that level. Nobody leaves. At some point in time, you and I are going to diminish, even at this job. Hopefully that's a bunch of years down the road. Can you imagine being like, man, I'm losing a step. My fastball isn't the same. You know what I mean? Like nobody says I'm out. Now, if Dabo did that, like it, and I think
I'm not
Dabo's
saying
gonna
retire.
win
I'm saying
at Clemson. Yeah,
I'm just saying it's a reality of every coach when you stay at one place
I think
too
he's
long.
gonna. Now, somebody might be crazy enough to fire Dabo.
No one's going to do that.
In this world we live in now,
No way.
Nothing is beyond. Listen,
he'd have to do it on his own.
Columbus just tried to run Ryan Day out of here.
They did. People forget that.
Oh, you want to talk about forgetting something?
They forget.
Was it about halftime of the Tennessee playoff game that they forgot, or do you think it was at the end? You think by halftime?
No, I think it might have carried over to the Rose Bowl against Oregon, first couple series, and then once Jeremiah Smith scored that second touchdown,
okay,
I think that's when they were like, "I told you all along.
I told you guys he was a good coach."
Yeah,
look at us. They were trying to pack him up. Me and him, we've laughed about this numerous times.
Oh yeah.
Because
dude had an armed guard, 24-hour armed guard at his own house for his own fans.
He's terrible. He's the worst coach.
Armed guard.
Me and you joked about this at the time. The amount of former players that we saw on social media that were like, this guy got to go. He's not good enough. And all the comments after, pack him up, get him out of here. And you think it lasted to the Rose Bowl before they forgot?
I think second series after the second touchdown by Jeremiah Smith.
Greatest coach I've ever seen.
Ever.
Who's this Ryan Day guy? He is amazing.
Yeah, like winning 90% of his games and losing to Michigan, none of that mattered. But dude, what if they lose in Ann Arbor in a few more weeks? Are they going to come climbing back out?
Some of them
in a row.
Some of them.
I think some will too.
They're going to crack that door open to see if it's safe to get out there to fire him again.
Yep, they will.
But that's how this rotation goes. Dabo was one good season away from, and the craziness though, the way this thing is playing out, it's kind of crazy. We sort of thought we had our teams for the ACC. You know what I mean? We sort of thought we had, Miami is still the most talented team in the ACC, but they had lost that game, and then Virginia's still undefeated. They're still staying the course. I'm looking forward to seeing your top 5 this week, because that yellow number 4 that you had signed
took
up,
an L. Yeah,
man, they took an L that we didn't see coming.
Yeah, like we talked about in the Open. I mean, those landmines are out there for everybody.
It's scary. The scary part about their L, it was their defense getting run over.
Yeah,
their defense got ran over.
I want to ask you about a team that just keeps. We'll get to Oklahoma and Tennessee, and we'll get to the SEC in a second. But there was the Georgia-Florida game. I called this game last year, and Florida, again, on paper a year ago, you would think, okay, Georgia's going to beat them. Yep. But it's a rivalry game, right? So you just never know.
Absolutely.
This once again, on paper, Florida already fired Billy Napier, 2 weeks to get ready.
They're done.
It had a feeling that it was going to be competitive. It always seems to be in this game. And Georgia finds themselves trailing in the second half, almost like they're just like getting a massage. Like it's just like that's their comfort zone.
Yep, absolutely.
We want to be down in the second half, and then we want to just kind of tighten the screws. I don't know what happens inside their locker room or inside that sideline of like, okay, boys, we got 30 minutes to go. Let's go do our thing. There's such, it doesn't happen once or twice. It happens almost every week.
Yep.
When you see this, it's not luck, right? It's a personality. It's almost like they don't, until they feel threatened, they don't bring the fastball. Like once they feel they've won so much. I just wonder, no matter what their head coach says about guys, we got to respect our opponent. We got to come out. We got to start fast. I've done a bunch of Georgia games this year. One of the first things they say, man, we got to start fast. Of course,
Every week,
start fast. But
every
they
week.
don't. But they don't ever.
They do not.
So my point is, should we just accept this is who Georgia is this year? They are a team that's going to feel their way out, but eventually they get in the second half trailing, and bang, that's when they take off. I mean,
that's tiresome. That'll wear you down. If you're a head coach, you wonder why they have gray hair. Those slow. I think they've been behind in 5 games this year in the second half. Those will wear you down.
Eventually, it's such a. I mean, that catches up to you.
It catches up to you. And let me give you something that you said a few weeks back about this Florida defensive football team. I think when we were talking Florida before, and you were like, man, that defense comes to play, regardless of what the offense does. That defense comes to play, and they do. You are 100% correct. Their defense, when you watch them, defenses are really, really good across the board. This is across the board in all of football. If you can get pressure with your front 4 guys on defense, it makes your defense really, really good. Because now I don't have to get my back 7 out of place. So we ain't got to blitz. We ain't got to like try to hide something because our front 4 is getting there. And Florida did that. Florida was really good up front. Offensively, they're what they are. Yeah. But they were really good up front with their front 4. And that made them good. And it was 10-10 at half with Florida, Georgia. And it didn't feel like it was in danger because of what we've seen Georgia do in second halves of football games. And also a Florida team that just was really bad on third down, 0 for 2 on fourth down. It makes it tough. And I think we witnessed a different Texas team. This was the first time I've seen Vandy look outmatched this entire season. Not the first time we've seen them lose.
Right out of the gate, by the way. I mean, Texas came in with an attitude in this one.
Their front 4 were amazing.
Yeah, Simmons, they were really good.
They were amazing. And the other thing that they were able to do, and I know we've talked about this, but when you watch the big plays by Texas, and we'll say Arch Manning had a terrific game, and he did. Look at how short the passes are, and then what happens afterwards.
Yeah, he's got some guys to throw to.
He has some guys that finally step. This is
maybe they're finally healthy. Maybe they're healthy.
That could be it. This is what we expected their.
This is who we thought we'd see in Columbus week 1.
Like these short passes that turn into a bunch of broken tackles. Like the first play of the game is a 75-yard touchdown, but the ball traveled 10 yards out. It was caught behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just a quick look pass. You know, he saw the numbers, just got it out there, make one guy miss. There it is right there.
Another broken tackle. And then we have a 75-yard touchdown. This Texas team looks scary. In 2 weeks, they get a bye week, and then they have Georgia. At Georgia. All of a sudden.
Hey, with what happened and transpired with Oklahoma and Tennessee and what happened in Texas and Vandy, you spin it forward to 2 weeks. You got Oklahoma, who, man, they're a fun team to watch right now. But Oklahoma goes to Tuscaloosa, and Texas goes to Athens. I mean, that is on the same weekend. What is that? November 15th. That is a massive weekend. It'll decide. You know, we keep talking about, since we were with Theo Vaughn about 3 or 4 weeks ago, talking about, look at there's 9-10 teams with 1 loss or less. Like, who's going to Atlanta? The 15th, I think we're finally going to be able to zoom in and have a much better idea after we get through next week.
Yeah, this is that is as I'm looking at that weekend now, Florida also plays Ole Miss, which will be fun to watch. Notre Dame plays Pitt. Pitt is an interesting team.
They are.
Pitt
is careful with Pitt.
You got to be careful with Pitt. They are another interesting football team out there, because the ACC is also wide open now. much like we talk SEC. It doesn't have the same depth,
Right.
but it is now wide open.
I have to say this because I was in Knoxville. We did game day in Salt Lake. Congrats to the Utes. I thought Cincinnati would compete. They clearly were not ready for that.
We're
The
not
line of
ready.
scrimmage was just, it was men against boys, which is who Utah and Kyle Whittingham have been forever. We didn't really know about Cincinnati. We knew Sorensby was playing well, but we didn't know, are they ready for like big boy line of scrimmage football? And we found out that they're not. So congrats to the Utes. Flew over to Knoxville to call Oklahoma, Tennessee. And I'll just say this, we always debate college football, the atmospheres are great. Where's the best? And I feel like because Tennessee, before Josh Heupel got there, they were struggling, obviously, for a number of years. He's gotten them back. And I know they didn't win the game, but I'm just going to tell you, if you get a chance to go and they're ranked and the opponent they're playing is ranked, going to Knoxville is an electric, as good as there is atmosphere when they host, especially a night game in the SEC. Oklahoma took their best punch.
Yes, they did.
The Sooners, to their credit, they made some critical plays. We're taking a look at some of these highlights right now, and we can debate the end of the game, whatever, should he have scored or not. But really, to me, it's more about the way Oklahoma played. And we went back to the beginning of the year. We talked about the schedule that Oklahoma has, maybe the most difficult in the entire country. This play by R. Mason Thomas, who ended up being hurt right there. He starts hobbling, almost went out of bounds, pulled a hammy, but Owen Haneke makes the play to force that fumble, changed the complexion of the game, not just a 14-point swing. And I thought in the second half, John Mateer got back to being the John Mateer that we saw early in the year, where he was running the football, wasn't thinking, was much more decisive. And when he's running the ball, as you could say their lead runner, but just in general, when he's running the football, it just seems to set up the rest of their offense. And give credit to their defense. They had some injuries, especially R. Mason Thomas, but they went into that environment, took Tennessee's best, and got out of there with a win. So they still have a long way to go with the schedule they have, including what we mentioned, going to Bama. They got Missouri, they got LSU. But that was an impressive atmosphere and a great win for Brent Venables. He needed that one, and he got a big one.
It was crazy the first half and how bad the Oklahoma offense, or you flip the other way and say the Tennessee defense, which was notorious for missed tackles, played really well, whichever way you want to look at it.
Yeah.
Either way, not much production from the Oklahoma offense. The touchdown on defense.
Yeah.
This is
a great kicker with short shorts. That's a great kicker.
That's why when you talk to these coaches, and it is all these coach point speaking things, scoring on defense really heightens your chances to win. But that's what it was in that first half. It was like, oh my gosh, Tennessee should be winning this game by 25 points because the Oklahoma offense was terrible. And the Tennessee defense is playing.
And they had the ball. Tennessee had the ball inside the 35 3 or 4 times. They came away -7.
Yeah, it's
-7 because of the scoop and score.
And they had the
opportunities
ball
to pull away.
They had the ball 10 more minutes than Oklahoma in the first half.
Yeah.
And they couldn't do anything with it. And then it was like, you're right. Okay. John Mateer's starting to make plays.
He came alive in that second half.
Taking off running. They moved the chains.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, they get out with a win and makes things interesting.
It was because I'll tell you what, dude, you want to talk about facing a fork in the road. You lose that game, you're sitting there at 6-3, and you got Alabama coming up.
Yep.
After a loss on the road, probably 6-4. You got Missouri on the road, probably 6-5, and you got LSU. Maybe you beat them. I mean, your best case 7-5. Instead, flip that. Find a way to win that game. Stay in the thick of things. You're 7-2, and now you go to Tuscaloosa feeling pretty good about yourself. And maybe they've been able to get back to getting John Mateer back to where he was before that thumb injury, where he's just out there playing football, not worried, not holding on to the ball, just being decisive. And if they are, they become a tough team for Bama. So they gained so much in 60 minutes in that atmosphere in Knoxville. But again, tip of the cap to the fans, to the game ops at Tennessee. It's as good of a scene to me as there is in the country when they're rolling. And I think I heard some nonsense from Tennessee fans about Josh Heupel's got to go. Oh, whoever loses has got to go. Man, have you thought about where Tennessee's football program was before Josh Heupel got there? Have you thought about how many years you were irrelevant, off the field issues, drama, BS all going? This is a good football team that lost maybe the two best corners on one team. They didn't even get a chance to play together. And somehow Tim Banks is holding on, trying to put a defense out there. You should be just like lock Josh Heupel and his staff down for 100 years. You can't win every game. It doesn't mean you don't have a good coach. It doesn't mean you don't have a good program. You're lucky to have Josh Heupel. You're lucky to have this program. You're lucky to have the AD you have. You guys are heading in a great direction. Be grateful. It's going to come. You can't win them all. And when you lose one, it doesn't mean you need to fire your coach. You know, like that I'm just tired of hearing a team, all these fans, when they lose a game, we got to fire our coach. That's not the answer. So anyway, let's Joey, we got 18 minutes to go here. We want to again welcome people who are just tuning in. Joey and I love to do this every Monday. We do it every Monday.
Hey, before we get some questions going, I would like to find out, because we do have the rankings tomorrow. The committee is it's here.
Finally, it's time.
Now it's time. Football is about to begin tomorrow night.
Wow, look at the boys here. They got the seeds out. We got what are you expecting tomorrow? Who's number one?
Okay, so that's going to ask you. So when you put up your when you did your top five, did you go, this is my top five, or this is what I think the committee will do tomorrow night? Like, where are you at with when you think of your rankings now? Do you put yours together and you think the committee will be different than you? Or are you thinking, here's the top five and this is what the committee should have?
I guess I don't get really, not to take away from your show tomorrow night, I don't get, if Indiana's won or Ohio State's won, it doesn't bother me. I'm more interested in what's going on at 12, 13, 14, 15, just to kind of see where we might be heading. That's my top five this week. I think that's what the AP, I haven't looked. I'm guessing the AP and the coaches poll, that's kind of more conventional wisdom of.
Is this where you have the committee? Is this, do you think the committee's going to match this?
Historically, the committee with their first rankings likes to be different. They like people to talk about their rankings. Wouldn't shock me if Indiana, maybe because they've been so dominant every week, might be one. I don't, but me personally, it doesn't bother me one way or the other. What about you?
So my top five will be different than the committee. I have Ohio State number one. You
got Indiana way down there.
Easy.
Wow.
Oh, way down there.
Well, you do.
You're number four.
I thought they'd be one before four.
Yeah, whatever.
Wow.
No. And I don't think there'll be one tomorrow night. I don't think the committee has Indiana at number one.
Why don't you like Indiana?
I love Indiana. I love Kirk Signetti. I did Google him. He's very, very good. I like Indiana. They're a really good football team. I have a feeling that Indiana's going to be number two tomorrow night. I have a feeling that Ohio State's going to be number three.
Wow.
Tomorrow night, sir.
Because of their resume?
Their resume. They didn't play anybody.
I still think the Texas game is more significant than people. I know they haven't lived up to maybe what people expected, but what if Texas just keeps winning? All of a sudden we're going to go back and say,
nope.
Oh, wait, Texas is a good win now.
No.
People, you think regardless, if Texas wins at Georgia, still not a good win?
If Texas wins at Georgia, we got a different conversation. Let me ask you this. Sitting here today, right now.
Beat Vanderbilt. That's a pretty good win.
Great. Hey, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. If you were to just say, hey, those are good wins. Indiana going to Oregon, really good. Texas A&M going to Notre Dame. Really good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great win.
Ohio State beating the Texas team that we saw in week 1 in Columbus. If I was to rank those 3 wins, I don't even think
all you do is resume when you come to your do whatever you want. But is that what
give
you
me
do?
something
You
else.
just
I'm
look
gonna give
at
you something
resume?
else, bud. Because and you know me, I'm not a analytics guy. But when there's this big of a discrepancy, then hey, I'm going to throw it in here. Texas A&M is number 1 in strength of record, right? They are double digits ahead of Ohio State and Indiana in strength of schedule. So when you squish that all together,
yeah, the committee likes that strength of record and all that kind of
yes,
stuff. Yeah.
when you combine all of that in your pot and you stir it up with A&M, who's undefeated, Indiana's undefeated, Ohio State's undefeated. If the committee is true to their word,
Yeah.
A&M's number 1.
That's who you think you could see them putting A&M at 1.
I'd be surprised. I would be surprised if they're not.
Okay.
How about that?
Okay.
So you have them putting Indiana number 1?
I think you make a good argument. I never really spent a lot of time wondering who the committee is going to have at 1. They typically like to do something different. Indiana's win at Oregon is impressive.
Really good.
A&M's win at Notre Dame has been great. A&M has
Really
some
good.
great wins. Probably,
Yeah, they do.
If you're just going on resume,
Mhm.
you could easily see them putting A&M at 1. How much do you just, when you watch a team like Indiana,
Yes.
they could be playing against Centerville High School, like they're really good. Like just the execute. Forget resume. Forget if they're who they're playing. Just wow, they're really physical at the line of scrimmage. They play great defense. Quarterback's in sync with his receivers. They run the football pretty much on anybody they play. Like that's more just football evaluation and not just, okay, let's look at my analytics. So don't you think some of it should be analytics and some of it should just be just watching these teams? And
some of it, because I don't always trust my eyes. Some of it should be.
Maybe I do too much of that.
Because here's the thing. We thought Georgia Tech was really good, and they just went and got out physicaled in their game. We thought Vandy was pretty good. They went and got out physicaled. Out physical is different than getting beat.
Yeah.
Out physicaled is something that we can't measure because we don't know what it's like to block the defensive end. You know what I mean? So that's why I do use it, but a little bit, because if I don't see you play against a top tier team, then
when you say you're evaluating, are you talking about what you're guessing the committee is going to do? Are you talking about who you think the best teams are? Those are two different.
Yeah.
things.
So when I'm evaluating myself, when I'm looking at teams and we're talking eye test, I don't always trust my eye test more than I trust resume. Does that make sense? Like I've seen Ohio State be very dominant, but who are they dominating?
Yeah, but how about the year when Ohio State won the national championship in 2002? If we were in the current world, I mean, they're playing not a lot of great teams. They were barely winning. When they went into that game against Miami, Miami had all those first rounders. Everybody was like, why are they even playing this game? Miami's going to kill Ohio State.
Say they played 10 times. Say Ohio State, that Ohio State team and that Miami team played 10 times. Who do you think wins more of those games?
Why don't you answer that?
That was when you go put your sunglasses on.
Me, so I don't like to answer those kind of hypothetical questions. Who do you think?
Never mind. Let's move on. Let's just move on. Come on. We got some questions.
People think I hate Georgia. What in the heck? I love Georgia. How do we hate everybody?
You hate
I love Georgia. Are you kidding me?
Where
I
we at?
love Kirby Smart. I love all these teams.
I'm a huge Kirby Smart fan.
Oh my
I'm
god.
a huge Dabo fan. We got any questions to
Yeah,
answer?
let's get some questions going here. And we're gonna fire.
You always
We're gonna put Joey
try
on
to
the
take
hot
us down
seat
a
here.
dark path.
Will a 3-loss team make the college football playoff? Interesting. It depends on who that 3-loss team is, because I just covered a team in Oklahoma who played Tennessee on the road. So far, just for good measure, they played Michigan as if they needed another game, non-conference. Michigan, Auburn, Texas, at South Carolina, Ole Miss, at Tennessee, at Bama coming, Missouri coming, and LSU coming. It's a pretty good schedule.
Yes.
I don't know if they would make it if they got to 3 losses. It's going to depend on what's happening, obviously, in all these other conferences. But I don't think we're to a point where we can just say definitively, no, a team with 3 losses will not make the playoff. I don't think we are.
I think when we put it in context, with 8 of the 12 teams last season had 2 losses that got into the playoff. 8 of the 12.
Think about that.
Yeah, I think that it's wide open for a 3-loss team. Yes, I think that opens the door for a 3-loss team.
What if a 3rd loss is a conference championship game? I almost think that's more of a reason to make a case for them.
Absolutely.
Why should you be penalized if you made it to a conference championship game and you get dinged in a championship game when no one else had to play that game? I don't think you should ever be penalized for having.
Which we just met with some of the committee members last week. We had
a
Zoom call, and it was and that was one of the things discussed. If you're playing in a championship game, you get points. Now, if you do like Wisconsin, Ohio State, and you get,
it was in 14, they got beat 59-0. Yep,
different. But if you're playing, you get points for playing. You get points for playing a really good opponent. So those will be positive things. Okay. So yes, it opens the door for a 3-loss team.
Yep. I think we agree. I think that 3-loss team could get in there. It depends on strength of record, strength of schedule, what they were challenged with. And I hope the committee honors teams that go on the road and deal with difficult environments. I agree. That's a very different thing. Does Michigan have a shot at the CFP? The only way Michigan is going to make the CFP, they're sitting there right now at 7-2. They're starting to run the football. I mean, they're really, that's kind of who Sherrone Moore is.
Yes.
And since the loss to USC, I feel like they've taken more off of Bryce Underwood. And I feel like it's more kind of old school Michigan defense, special teams, running the football. Justice Haynes is out with an injury, which has been, kind of a big deal for them. They've had to rely on.
I think Marshall had 185.
Jordan Marshall is a beast. I watched him in high school at Cincinnati Moeller. Always thought he
is that where he went?
Yeah,
dude, I didn't know that.
Oh, you probably watched him.
Yeah,
he's.
I didn't realize it.
Yeah, man, he's a very gifted player.
Hey, listen, now we keep talking about who can be that 4th team.
Yeah, if they went out, they got to beat Ohio State.
They got to beat Ohio State.
That's what I was going to say. If they went out there and they're sitting there with a couple losses, that would be the 4th team from the Big Ten.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. If they knock off Ohio State,
they're in.
Sign them up. So the short answer is absolutely they have a shot. The long answer is they got to beat Ohio State.
Yeah, and they go to Northwestern, they go to Maryland. The way they're not necessarily, at least right now, throwing the football. They're relying, anytime you go on the road and you're going to rely in November on defense and running the football and just being smart in the passing game, doesn't mean you can't win. It just means your margin of error is very, very small. And it means you got to win and just win turnover margin, win field position.
It's not going to be sexy.
No. But if they win those next 2 on the road, I think they're 60 minutes away from playing Ohio State, where they'd have to win the game. And if they win it, I think they'd be in. Did the ACC kill their chances this weekend with 2 teams getting into the playoff? Absolutely. I don't think there's any chance they're getting 2 teams in. You?
Really?
Yeah.
Now, they hurt their chances. I wouldn't say they killed their chances.
Well, let's just take
Virginia. Take Virginia, right?
Uh-huh.
Say Virginia wins out.
Okay.
Wins the rest of their games. They go and say any one of the other 1-loss teams, Georgia Tech. And those 2 teams play. close game.
Yep.
Virginia loses in a close one.
Yep.
Or whoever's ranked
Yeah.
higher.
Whoever loses. Yep.
You don't think they gotta, because you realize the Big Ten is probably down to 3. Let's say the Big Ten's down.
Well,
to
we
3.
do that. Okay.
Let's say they're down to 3.
Okay. That means Ohio State beats Michigan. That would eliminate Michigan from.
Yeah. And we've talked about this. Everybody has to root against Notre Dame to take another loss.
That's the whole point.
Yes. So that's why I'm saying it's not necessarily dead, but the Notre Dame team we're looking at, I don't see them taking another loss.
The only way the ACC even gets into conversation after last weekend is Notre Dame gets tripped up. And then that opens up, because right now, if you're looking at it, again, we added this up last week, four in the SEC, 3 in the Big Ten, 1 group of 5, Notre Dame. If you go 2 in the Big 12, that's 11, 1 in the ACC.
Why do you get?
And I'm not saying it has to be 2 in the Big 12.
That was going to be my next question. Why did you go 12, 2 in the Big 12?
It could be that maybe that's the debate. 2 in the ACC, 2 in the Big 12. Is there maybe a 5th team in the SEC? Is there a 4th team in the Big 10? I mean, that's what the committee is going to have to debate when it comes to those at-large teams.
I mean, honestly, I mean, if you were to tell me, but you're right, the ACC really did kick themselves in the
hurt themselves
in the kahunas.
Yeah.
All
right. Real quick, could Lane Kiffin decide to go to the NFL? Hello, Miami Dolphins.
No.
Let me put 2 things to the side. Lane Kiffin's not going to go to the NFL. And Nick Saban, you couldn't pull Nick Saban off the game day desk. Like, coach, maybe this job. No. What about no? Nick Saban, guys, you got to stop bringing up Nick Saban for all these. He's not going anywhere. My man is enjoying his life. For 50 years, he told me, for 50 years, I've been in a hurry. I've been late to something for 50 years. Now he's got Mercedes-Benz dealerships and Ferrari dealerships. And,
me and him were out on the boat.
And now he's on a boat. He's golfing.
We're on the boat. He's driving me around the lake in Georgia on a boat, a wooden boat. And I'm literally, while this is happening, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, who would have ever thunk it? Here I am on a wooden boat that, now don't get me wrong, very nice wooden boat.
That's on Golden Pond. That's going old school.
Cruising around the lake. Me and Coach Saban. He got to chew in, I got to dip it. We're just rolling.
That's him.
Around the lake.
That's him. I
couldn't see that guy. After he cheated me in golf, I think to make me feel better, he took me out on the lake in the boat. And
he is not coaching.
I can't see him.
No.
You're talking about somebody happy. Goodness.
He's the happiest he's probably been in a long, long time. He and Miss Terry. Why they got to sneak in that bit? Why?
I tell you what. Hey, listen. Did you watch?
Of course. And as soon as they scored, I said, too obvious. I put a clock up, #pain coming, which meant, Caleb Williams is going to get in field goal range. And then when he hit it, when they made it, I said, they actually scored a touchdown. I tweeted out, right on schedule, Yahtzee. It happens every single time. Like, why would you be surprised? It's what they do. It's what they do. It's what the Reds do. The Bengals do. It's what the Blue Jackets do. It's what we do.
I was with your buddy Snoop, and he had seen the score where you guys were down big, and he's like, "It's over."
Yeah,
it's done.
No, once they take the lead, it's over. Not when they're down.
Yeah,
take the lead.
You guys fought your way back in for some strange reason. I don't know why you did it.
No,
stay out of it.
I'm in a good place mentally with all my teams.
Stay out of it. You know what I mean? Stay out of it.
The only thing that sucks right now is the Blue Jackets are playing good hockey. That's the only thing.
Well, you just took them down.
Well, they lost last night, so they'll do it. They'll do what they do.
When's baseball season?
I don't know, but that was a great World Series. Game 7. Are you kidding me?
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to take college football final while that's happening.
Oh my! Well, all of us were
And I'm
trying
like,
to multitask.
it
I was
was-
calling a Tennessee-Oklahoma game, watching Game 7, home run in the 8th to get it to 4-3, home run in the 9th to tie it. The extra innings were incredible. That was
Who's that? Rojas that went deep?
yeah, in the
I mean,
8th. Or
dude.
Muncy in the 8th, and then Rojas in the 9th.
Rojas later.
Yeah,
like
to tie it.
Two strikes.
Yeah. Joey, love you, buddy. Great show. Appreciate you. You brought up some really interesting thoughts on coaching and the coaching carousel. You guys have a great week. College game day is going to Lubbock. I cannot wait to get down there for BYU and Texas Tech. Joey has a busy week as well. We will be back next Monday and every Monday on Nonstop. We'll see you then. Have a good week.